Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, play to earn, DeFi, and price. And today, guys, I want to cover a new protocol that's going to be live in just a couple of weeks here. And the pre-sale is actually tomorrow. There's a whitelist pre-sale, and then there's also a launchpad pre-sale on GMD that I want to talk about as well, and what qualifies you for those. But I also want to talk about the protocol in general and what it's going to be doing. So let's jump on into Ghast protocol. So here's the docs, guys. Just going to do a quick run through of the docs, and then we'll get into the pre-sale information. So Ghast protocol is an enhanced yield and lending protocol built on top of GMX's GLP, GMD protocol, and other existing large cap applications with the Arbitrum ecosystem. So it will be launching on Arbitrum. Primarily why I want to cover this, guys, is because I am stoked that it's going to be running on the GMD tokens as the liquidation free money market. That's going to be the primary use case of Ghast protocol. So Ghast is going to have boosting GLP yield up to 195%, which seems pretty amazing. Maybe a little bit high for some people. This is the looping structure that you're going to be able to do on top of the GMD USDC, GMD ETH vaults as well. So what you're going to be doing is lending your receipt tokens from the GMD GLP vaults or GMX vaults. I think they're listed as GMX vaults. Let's go look at GMD real quick here. This is GMD protocol. If you go to the vault section, you have GMX vaults and buffer vaults. These are the vaults that we're talking about today. So if you have, they're all pretty full right now, and I do believe GMD is going to be expanding the TVL that's available in these. So right now you can up to 1,800 ETH is able to be staked in here. I do have a couple of ETH in here myself. So just for full transparency, I have used the USDC vault as well, and I've created some GM USD from my receipt tokens, the GMD USDC vault here tokens, and then we have BTC and USDT, and all of these we're going to have GMD equivalent receipt tokens when you stake inside of these vaults, and that's what's going to be used in Ghast protocol as the collateral and be able to borrow against them. Now, one thing that's pretty cool about Ghast, and this is something that I think is very interesting, is it won't be liquidate. You won't be able to be liquidated because you can only borrow the corresponding token. So if you're providing GMD ETH, you can only borrow ETH up to a certain level, and that's why it's able to be liquidation free, because when you borrow the receipt token or the corresponding asset on top of the receipt token, because of the price action, they'll be locked in step with the price. There's the peg on GMD USDC will be that of USDC or more, because actually all of these vaults make between 15 and 25%. Maybe the ETH and BTC make a little bit less, maybe 10 to 15%, up to 20% at sometimes. But for the most part, these are going to be yield bearing because of the underlying GLP, and therefore the ETH that you're borrowing on top of that isn't going to surpass the value of the underlying collateral. So for me, I'm going to probably take that ETH that's been borrowed against and then just loop my GLP options. I may take that ETH, stick it into another protocol that's going to borrow USDC against it, and then farm with that USDC, or you can do all these different things, right? All these are permissionless aspects of a lending market. Let's look further here. Tokenomics, I'd like to get to. This talks a little bit more about the liquidation free market, and then money market mechanisms is basically what I've talked about already. The vaults in GMD are pseudo delta neutral, meaning they don't lose value because of underlying GMD or your assets in GMD vaults on top of that GMX GLP application. You're going to have some price stability. So GMD takes some of that yield that you would get in just stake GLP, but then buffers or keeps it from the price of GLP and the asset from falling on top of it. So single-sided vaults, guys. So you're just staking ETH, you're just staking USD, you're just staking USDT. So pretty simple, and there's no impermanent loss because of it too. So looping again, I'm going to get to tokenomics here. So GST and ESGST tokens are going to be what's used. Stakers of these tokens will get fees on top of the protocol liquidity, the underlying GLP assets, and then 10% of interest fees from Ghast money market, which is awesome. And then here's your breakdown of the supply. 150,000 will be total supply. GST, there will be 45,000 in circulating, and GST at launch. So pretty small amount at launch, not as small as we saw with the GND launch, but pretty similar tokenomics to that of GMD and GND. Now I know that some of the guys over at GMD are helping Ghast to get off the ground here, and hence the launch pad. So shout out to the team at GND for helping Ghast with this. There's going to be a burning mechanism. 10% of protocol revenue will be used to buy back GST and immediately burn it. ESGST is vested, so you can check that out. Linear vest of 200 days. Can be staked to obtain higher APR than regular GST. Official launches, I'll get into that in a second. Contracts, socials, and there we go. So make sure to click on these links only, or follow them in their Discord, and only use the available links there to make sure that you get to the right sites and application and all that when using the protocol. And ghastprotocol.com is the official website. If you haven't got on the whitelist, it's probably too late to do that because the whitelist sale is tomorrow. You had to tweet out an invitation or retweet an invitation that they sent out a couple weeks ago, and I believe that is that whitelist eligibility has sailed at this point. So I don't think the app is launchable yet, but we're going to try it. Yeah, it's not quite launchable. So let's get into the pre-sale terms. So I have that information pulled up. Actually, I just posted it all in the GMD Discord. I am a mod at GMD and GND, and I did post all of the information here for the whitelist presale in the general tab on GMD to help coordinate everything, as it wasn't all quite in one spot. So whitelist presale, you had to get whitelisted. If you're not already whitelisted, it is too late to get in there, but the whitelist presale is tomorrow, 4 p.m. UTC. I believe that's 10 or 11 o'clock in the States, depending on what time zone you're in. There's a couple other time zones, obviously, but it should be in the morning for you, Saturday morning for you if you are in the States. Check on local times for yourself, 4 p.m. UTC if you are whitelisted. Whitelist price is less than the GMD Launchpad price by about $1.50 different. Not a huge difference in price there for the whitelist. And then you do have to linearly vest over 7 days after claiming. So 2 hours after initial liquidity, there will be a 7-day vest on those who are whitelist presale eligible. And there's going to be 20,000 GST available at the whitelist presale, another 25,000 GST available at $12 per token for the GMD Launchpad version of the sale, and there will be no vesting. I do believe that the initial liquidity will go live pretty soon, maybe within 24 to 48 hours. Don't quote me on that, guys, but within a couple days of the GMD Launchpad, I believe, is when we'll see initial token liquidity. I wouldn't be surprised if liquidity is available via GND as well, so probably be a GND or a GST and ETH pair, or a GST USDC pair in GND at the time of liquidity. Here is if you want to be a part of the GMD Launchpad, it is not completely public. It says a public presale, but you will have to be have some tokens staked. So GMD, if you have staked GMD, you can purchase up to $10 in Ghast for every GMD you have staked. So a pretty small allocation depending on how much GMD you have staked. I have probably 10 or 15 GMD in different applications. I could pull those all out of farming and stake them and get maybe $50 in or $150 maybe in GST. But I do have quite a bit of XGMD stakes, so I will be probably taking advantage of that in the GMD Launchpad instead of doing the whitelist. I am whitelisted. I think I'm going to wait personally, but do what you will, guys. Don't take my advice. It may be advantageous to get this early token price, but then you do have to vest for 7 days. So we'll see what happens there. Good luck with that. So please put any questions you might have in the comments, guys, about this, or feel free to drop me a line in Discord at GMD or on GND. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer there. With that, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content just like this, and God bless.